What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Brimezus. Today, I want to talk about the dark side of being a Porsche owner. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And alhamdulillah, a lot of my goals regarding cars, I was able to make come true. All praise be to the Most High. But I also been on the other side of it, in the sense of like after getting what you want. So there were several goals I had as a, Porsche enthusiast. And of course, probably the most prominent being is like, I can't wait till I get to drive a Porsche every day. Even when I first had like my first Porsche or two, like I didn't get to drive it every day. It wasn't that practical, in my opinion. And, I'm going to admit there is some slight insecurity even though I liked having the car, if I was like going to a job or going to the gym, I didn't necessarily want the direct attention that came from it. I wanted to focus on whatever I was trying to focus on and not the distraction that will come with those kind of things. But I still enjoy driving a Porsche. That's something that's the goal, what you're working hard for. And I did. Like the car I'm driving now, alhamdulillah, all praise to be the Most High. I drive it like most of the time. It's the last Porsche I have left. I put almost 180,000 miles on this thing, man. You know what I mean? And I'm not sure that's gonna come up in the green screen or not. How I got into this car is a very weird story, and I had like a negative mindset, some kind of neurosis getting into this car, because I ended up driving this car all the time on the heels of the collapse of my MHG company, right? I owned like somewhere around 15 Porsches at the time. And my friends who I work for, they're supposed to drive for like Lyft and Uber to make money, pay for the car. We have our own personal chauffeur service or rent the cars out, things like that. And again, I have bad management skills, so that didn't go well at all. So basically, I was a six-figure earner, planned on making seven figures or maybe even eight figures. But now I'm a six-figure owner with seven-figure problems. It was not cool. So over time, I had to liquidate a lot of the cars in one way or another. And when it came to me, like, kind of set the example, I was complaining, like, why aren't people working? Why aren't you guys working? I received several kinds of excuses. But it was like, yo, it's not that hard. I can make, like, easy $1,000 doing this and all my other responsibilities, teaching at the gym, coaching, all that type of stuff. And all you got to do is do this full time. So I picked the least flashiest, least pretty Porsche that I had, which is this car, thinking that I was not going to be in this car for long. It was going to be a temporary measure. And that became my mindset about this car. It's like, this car is the car I'm not going to be in for a long time. It's to be a temporary measure, so that I treated it as such. And I didn't necessarily treat it bad, but I didn't treat it with the tender loving care I deserve. I remember when I first bought my first Porsche Cayman back in the day. Essentially, I was like, I'm going to clean it every day. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. None of that happened. I didn't treat that car bad either, but I wasn't as romantic about that car as I thought I was going to be. And I regret that, And on top of that, it's funny because, like, I do Lyft and things now. I have to. People get in the car like, oh my God, nice car, every single day. And I'm happy that, I get to compliment, but this car ended up being the car that I got complimented the most when I was prouder of other vehicles. And I feel like other people get to enjoy the car more than I do. And I put this kind of negative satanic barrier of how I feel about the car. I do it to myself when I should be enjoying it more. I remember one guy got in the car and said, "Thank you for a ride of a lifetime." And I said, "Sir, I never got that from this car." I mean, I did when I'm, rolling around with, like, Miss Nari or something like that. But other than that, when you're not around with a girl that you love, then I didn't really get to push the car like I did. And of course, this car shows a lack of performance now in the vehicle from the neglect, me treating it like a temporary measure. And it's it reminds me of, like, for example, you might have a relationship doesn't go as great as you think, in which you can, like, kind of turn back the clock. Maybe have kids, you wish the relationship could go better and could want to turn back the clock. That's a lot how I feel about this car. And I just want to do better. this, especially if I get an opportunity to drive the Porsche I'm working towards, and even this car, I just want to do better. Like if I could even like maybe change the transmission, rework the body, that kind of stuff. Me and this car been through. I have an emotional connection with this car. I really would not mind keeping this car, quote unquote, for the rest of my life if it's very drivable and comfortable and conforming. As far as because me and this car, we've been through a lot. We've been through the hardest times of my life. You know, but the thing is, I just wasn't listening to have that luxurious experience together that I was hoping to get, and it's my fault. I wish this opportunity. So I'm gonna make a couple videos of the dark side being a Porsche owner. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. It's your boy Brimezus. I will see you guys next time.